top 11 of the best horror games on Android in 2022. Number 11. Limbo is one of the best platformers on Android, and its haunting atmosphere makes it one of the best horror games. 2. Limbo's misty, grayscale visuals do a fantastic job of creating a haunting environment, and the story will keep you on the edge of your seat about what comes next. There are no jump scares or terrifying action scenes here, but out of any game on this list, Limbo is probably the one that'll stick in the back of your mind the longest. Limbo is also a great choice who prefer to be challenged by puzzles rather than quick reactions or combat. You have plenty of time to explore the realm of Limbo, there are no monsters harassing you at every turn. It's an absolute must-play for fans of all kinds of horror. Distrained is a 2D psychological horror adventure game you can complete within a day. But don't let the length turn you away, the game's brevity only enhances the creepy atmosphere and dramatic story. Distrained is the perfect game for those who dislike jump scares and action, as it relies on careful audio and visual design to create a spooky atmosphere. It falls into the same category as Limbo, so try this if the classic platformer felt like the perfect horror game. Number 9. Five Nights at Freddy's isn't a game for the faint-hearted. It's a tense, edge-of-your-seat experience packed with jump scares. Faced with a group of sentient, bloodthirsty animatronics, you'll be hard-pressed to keep yourself alive as you manage doors and lights with a dwindling electricity supply. Play it if you don't have time for complex narratives and want the living daylights scared out of you. Number 9. Hello Neighbor's charming aesthetic might seem friendly, but don't let the bright colors and childlike graphics fool you. It's a tension-filled stealth game broken up by intense chase scenes. Your goal is to sneak into your neighbor's house to discover what secrets they are hiding, all while they attempt to stop you. Number 7. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Thanks to visuals inspired by retro Disney films and an original story, Bendy and the Ink Machine is the perfect game for horror veterans. It crosses multiple genres, so you'll be solving puzzles one moment and fighting monsters the next. However, the story is the main attraction, along with its impressive graphics. Number 6. Just like Hello Neighbor, the baby in yellow seems a little silly, to begin with. The titular baby is a creepily-eyed figure that, apart from staring at you unnervingly, like most real-world babies, doesn't seem to be the scariest antagonist. However, as you progress through the game, you'll encounter jump scares, supernatural events, and creepy ragdoll physics, making this one of the most gripping horror games available on Android.
Number 5. Franbo is a psychological horror game that feels disturbingly realistic at times. You play Fran, a young girl who witnesses the brutal dismemberment of her parents. Traumatized by the experience and incarcerated in a mental institution, you will follow Fran as she attempts to escape. Number 4. Eyes is a fast-paced survival horror game that will keep you on your toes. It draws on many classic horror tropes, but don't let the cliched atmosphere turn you away. There's no thought-provoking story like Distraint, but there are plenty of game modes and challenges for you to complete. Number 3. Part of what makes horror games so engaging is the characters. How people react to terrifying events is fascinating, and that's precisely what makes Telltale Games The Walking Dead so good. While the story's broad strokes will remain the same, your decisions will have consequences. Number 2. Insomnia is akin to Five Nights at Freddy's, but with a terrifyingly relatable concept. Unable to sleep and trapped in your room, you will attempt to fend off a creature over 5 increasingly difficult nights. You can't move, fight back, or escape. Instead, you'll have to listen to the sounds of the creature attempting entry and use your flashlight to prevent it from entering. Number 1. Oxenfree is a fantastic story-driven horror game wrapped up in an adventure game format. Inspired by classic 80s horror films, you'll join a group of friends as they embark on a supernatural adventure. It's creepy, emotional, and, most importantly, believable. Just like Distraint, this is the perfect game for those who can't stand jump scares. It's also much longer. Oxenfree changes the story and dialogue based on your decisions, so think carefully about every choice you make.